Good afternoon, everyone out there in YouTube.
Hello, Brad.
Yeah, we got the old man here with us. He's don't know what he's doing. No, he's pulling a gun apart. We've got Johnny back on deck. We've got the old we're putting a clutch in the Rodeo here. So Johnny's out of the hills with his offsetting. So we just had a I think I stuffed up again. If we don't tell Matt. We had to put a rear main in and a clutch in this little old Rodeo we got, and it's a two-piece seal and quite tricky. So I was on the lathe, I don't know if you can see my hand there, but I made up this tool that'll go on the seal, and it goes up hard against the crank there so that it can be square, and then Johnny just put 4 bolts in and used the crank bolts to wind the seal in. So I think he reckoned it worked really good. So beautiful. Hey, beautiful, eh? And so I'm sorry for not showing you what I was actually doing on the lathe. I'm too busy in the moment and I forget about all Matt's fans. So I think it's that good, he reckons, that we'll probably it's going to be stamp worthy. We'll put some we'll stamp it and then go in the drawer, so it'll be kept for next time. And I just machined up the flywheel too. It was a bit off. Once again, I probably should have showed that, but anyway, I laid that up. So yeah, Johnny will be ready to hook back into it.
Good morning, guys. Welcome to the channel. It's a lovely day. I'll just step out in the sunshine here. We've had, I don't know how much rain we had. I think we probably had 36 mil, Johnny says. So yeah, that's perfect amount of rain really. We haven't had any wash, and there was no runoff, and the soil absorbed it all, so we should be able to store most of that moisture, and come time for planting we should be able to access that. So it's absolutely lovely, and there's plenty of cotton around too that would have appreciated that. So we got a little bit happening. Obviously it's too wet to do any paddock work, but the work trailer is back in the shed here, and it hasn't probably been here since harvest or before harvest. So this is our work trailer that obviously the idea of it is it follows wherever the main activity is, where we're contracting or doing whatever. And so we carry that. That was with us when we were doing harvest a few months ago, and then it obviously went and it's been living down at the development block for a while too, because we're not set up for tools there, so it sort of was staying there, so we had tools there. And then obviously it went down with the bulldozers where Brad and Phil have been working, so it hasn't actually been here. And the problem with that is it's very difficult to keep it restocked and keep it tidy, because yeah, it's just, I guess it's a bit like 5 or 6 fellas living in a batching in a house. Gets a bit untidy at times. So that's what we're doing now. So we're basically going through, we've already done a fair bit of just pulling stuff off. There's a heap of stuff there. We've got the bin there just to throw stuff out straight away. And we're slowly just pulling everything off. And then we're gonna wash it all down with the hot wash, get it all nice and tidy. We're just gonna do a good old rearrange and a restock. And Johnny's been here doing good things here. Yeah. What had happened here, was it so it was either the Stockholm tar or some oil spilt through the trailer, just with rough roads. So at some point, oh here it is, I think we've got this little container here with a little pump with oil in it. I think that's sort of what we use for doing the mid rollers on the Challenger. So they're those ones down there for when you're filling them up with oil. But at some point it's hit a big bump and tipped over and started spilling oil all through this. So Johnny's just pulled that all out and cleaned all that up. So it's looking a lot nicer now. Yeah. And we're just going to go through and restock, find any tools that are missing and get new ones, or figure that sort of stuff out. So yes, we've got a bit of tidying up in here to do, because yeah, we've got welding stuff in here, grease cartridges, and yeah, that just all needs a bit of a tidy up and a clean. And then this side is our electrical side and power tools and that, so there's and we've got nuts and bolts all here, and yeah, it's just a bit of a mess, so we're still got to work through this. And at some point I want to find out a way to, I want to find a solar panel or something we can put on, just a bigger solar panel that we can charge the battery, which is in that front toolbox, and that way, yeah, we're not going to run out of power for when we're charging the Milwaukee batteries, because we've got the charger there. So yeah, we've got this solar panel here, which is a spare one, but it's just about 1 inch too wide to fit on here, which is annoying. But anyway, we're still just sussing that bit out. We've got Brad going to do some work on the Steiger. I think the seat, a bit of the plastic that holds the bottom section of the seat has collapsed, so he's basically kicked us out of the shed. So we're going to pull the work trailer out over to here, and I'm going to use the hot wash to give it a good thorough clean, and then we're probably gonna, it's still probably another half a day we need to spend on it really to get everything in there sorted. We've been making some brackets to hold things like spray cans and the grease gun and all that sort of stuff, so a little bit of time still to go, but we're getting there. So it's all looking quite clean. There's a little bit of damage from rocks and things which can't really do much about, but yeah, it's a lot better than it was. I've still just got to sort through this obviously, and yeah, we're making some progress on this box. So I made up a new bracket to take the grease cartridges and the silicone. I've got all the welding gear in there, welding leads, and a little spot here for the grease gun. We were putting the grease gun in here, but obviously you just get grease all everywhere in here and it was just a mess. So yeah, that's going to make that a bit nicer. And Johnny has been working away on the aerosol can holder. So yeah, they all just sit in there nicely. The paint's still a bit wet, so I won't put them in there. But yeah, we've got all the basic aerosols that we can fit there without being too much in the road of storing stuff in behind here. This toolbox is pretty well, could do with a bit of a tidy up, but it's mostly got your big stuff in there, and I think a couple of angle grinders and extension cords under there. And then Johnny's working on, we're just trying to work out a better system for our nuts and bolts. We did have it all in these boxes and they were just in bags, and you open the bag and get a couple of bolts out and then they all get mixed up. So yeah, we're just experimenting a bit here with all these containers that came out of that there, and it actually fits quite nicely without moving, so we might have to try get some more of them and just see how we go there. But yes, that's a bit of experimenting. Phil's teaching Josiah how to grind by doing some dodgy welds. Is that?
That's a bit rough.
Nah, you got a MIG. If you can't make a weld look pretty with a MIG, That's a bit
As long
sad.
as she holds.
So that's the latch off the auger on the air cart. So, what else were you doing to it?
Well, putting new chains on and drive chains and checking the metering boxes out.
Yeah, righto. And Brad where's Brad gone? Brad, you in your happy place? Oh, he's sneaking a phone break.
Looking up the cricket results.
You've been working on the unis, have you?
Yeah, sorting out unis for the Arctic.
So we reckon there was a bit of a shudder in there, was there?
Yeah, but I think it was all right. But we'll put some new ones in anyway.
So that didn't seem too bad to get out.
Nah, pretty easy. Good size.
And
Two unis, or one uni is the same price as 2 unis on the D11.
yeah, right. So
about $1,100 for one, and we got 2 D11 ones for about that price.
but that's basically what you find with a lot of stuff with the D11s, actually, that people may not realise, is it's actually some parts, within reason, filters and serviceable items are cheaper than tractors.
A quarter of the price. Filters.
So they're actually...
You just use a lot more oil, but...
Yeah, that's the problem. When you spring a leak, you have to go get a bank loan.
Yeah, I think an engine filter takes 2, but I think one's like $30 or $35. You can't get a header one or a tractor one for that. What was it? The Deutz was $400 for a fuel filter.
Was it? I didn't even look at that.
Something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that was fairly savage.
They get you.
Yeah.
But the other thing is the seat.
Yeah, the seat. Oh, it's broke. It's over there,
But this is that's without a...
Too many large people.
Is that pointed?
Hey?
Is that pointed? You aiming at anyone there?
Well, who's driven it the most?
No comment.
Have a look at it. The plastic gets broken on it.
Oh yeah, down here it's all cracked and come apart. So that's all plastic. So yeah, can't really fix that, but at least we don't have to buy a whole new seat. So that should make that a bit more comfortable. So anyway, we'll keep working away here. We've still got to sort out all the oil. And yeah, we'll get fresh drums in there, because obviously the UV, being out in the sun a bit, the UV affects the drums, so we don't want to leave them on here for too long. So we'll try and get some fresh ones on here, and usually you carry like maybe a couple of engine oils. It's more for just topping stuff up. You're not going to do a full service necessarily, but yeah, hydraulic oil, all that sort of stuff. So yeah. Well guys, it is another afternoon. I didn't actually pick up the camera this morning, but we've been hard at it still with the work trailer here, just all the little odds and ends we've been working on. So I can't remember exactly where I last left it, but we've made some progress. I'll just move that out here. So we've got a little container with the come-alongs in there, and yeah, just a few of these other bits and bobs. There's hose clamps in there, zip ties in there. Yeah, I think we saw that. The grease gun's there. We've just changed a bit of stuff around here, and they've got a heap of rags in there. So that's all sorted. So that just sort of sits there, and that all shuts up there. The other thing is we've still going to wait on we're going to order a couple of these to put the bolts in. We've got rid of the idea of putting them in the drawer. We changed that, and yeah, so we're still got to just sort through that. But yeah, we've got our Milwaukee stuff here all set out in the foam. I've tidied up the wiring so we don't have wires dangling, and I've got a little charger for the light there. And yeah, just sort of tidied up that. So that is all done. Oh, that's not going to close with that there, but anyway. So yeah, cleaned out this box. We've got the first aid kit and the jump leads in that, and the battery obviously. We're actually trying to figure out a bigger toolbox. We do need to store some more stuff, so not sure what we do. But anyway, probably long term what we're going to do is make up a frame and a shelter that goes over the top here. It is just very hard on the drums being in the sun all the time, or a lot of the time. But yes, we got the can holders there, and that's been tidied up a bit. And probably the new thing is we've got a bracket for the hammer up there, so that's no longer just floating about on the back here. And I've welded that channel on there where we can put the crowbars in, and I've welded stoppers so we can't lose the shorter ones halfway down there. So that's yeah, it's pretty much all done now. Cup just, yeah, again I think we've got to get another jack. These are the 20 ton air jack. These are really handy for those that don't like jacking. But yeah, something's happened here where it's been let down and busted that, so it's actually bent the insides, I think, so you can't really repair that, unfortunately. All 5 of us have been in the shed for a couple of days, so there hasn't been any fights breaking out yet. We got the seat in the Steiger. Brad just put that in, so that's got the cover, the canvas cover, so you can't actually really see anything. But he did tell me he's been watching Larson Farms, and he told me he's pulled the little lever out for the chair swivel, so you can just swivel the chair at any time. You don't have to pull up the lever, so apparently that's a trick that Larson Farms do. I think they've got 2 or however many of these. Well, they're a quad track, but the same tractor basically. And yeah, so I think Brad's just, I'm not sure if we want to know what Brad's doing here. I think he's getting some drums off. He wants me to, yeah, you take the camera then.
Rightio. I don't quite have a licence yet. Still on my L plates. I'm even multitasking here. Look at that. My wife would be proud.
I don't know why I give you a camera.
Yeah, you better take it back. Thank you, sir.
He turns into a different animal. He's going to yell out for my name. Okay. Can you do it yourself, you reckon?
There we go. Look at
You want to pay attention there before you rip your ute off? Hey. I don't even think you got your learners yet. I'm taking a few steps back. Yeah, that's a worry. I'm waiting for you to give an update on the Challenger.
Oh.
Brakes work well.
One wheel.
So we've been through the air cart, and that's pretty well right to go. The Boss Planner, we've got the pull on there, so it's pretty well right to go. Yep. But so we just need a tractor to pull it.
Yeah, that's an issue. No, we've got they've got all the bits. They found a second-hand head that's good. The main caps were loose in the block, so they've line bored them, machined that. Crank was okay, block was okay. Another head, cam. They needed a new cam, new injectors. Yeah, so I think they're just trying to get it together, assemble it, and then they'll dyno it. And we just asked if they may be able to give it a few more ponies. Maybe.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
Possibly could have been a request.
They didn't offer that, I'm sure.
I can't confirm or deny that, of course. I'm hoping they might have that together in the next 10 days. Then yeah, get it back here. Might take a week. The radiator, just today actually, I've confirmed the order. We're getting a custom one made up. Full aluminium, top tanks and core, so we're going thicker, so that's probably going to be 4 to 6 weeks, so that won't be going in for sewing. But
so we're going to have to put the old one back in, are we?
Yeah, got the old one coming back maybe next week. Just took a bit of the fella we're getting to do it, he relies on about 2 different manufacturers. So one's making the core special, and the other one's making the heads and welds the core in with the header tanks. And then the other development is the old muffler. Well, yeah, I can get one from overseas, but it's going to cost like $3,000 to get it freighted here. So we're just working on a local contact over there that we know that might be able to bring it on a container. So we'll probably put the old one on too for this planning. Should we patch up the holes? There are a few holes, so we'll patch the holes up.
Should we do a call out for anyone that's over there that wants to bring a muffler over on carry-on?
Yeah, just carry on. I think if you get the double bag carry-on, you should fit it.
But the backup always is the Steiger. So with that system on the air cart, the TopCon system should talk to the Steiger screen.
Might need to get the software updated and
yeah.
it'll talk. So that's our backup plan.
So that was, yeah, that's always up our sleeve, which is nice.
Yes.
Anyway.
I don't know if it's got enough horsepower. Good feedback on the contour.
Oh, here comments.
We go. Yeah, I had to slip that in.
Have you been reading them all?
Yeah, most of them.
Yeah, righto.
So we've had lots of different names for different things, and very interesting. So I really appreciate the comments. It's very quite interesting. So no, keep it up. And I think after a few comments, I've got a map. I'll just do a bit of a diagram when I'm on the daisy next or something, just to show. Might talk about elevation and that sort of thing.
I guess probably the biggest request has been to have some footage of it actually working, as in when it's flooding, but yeah, it's very difficult.
Well, next flood we'll try and do that.
Because usually it's raining and you can't really fly a drone, and I don't actually live where there's any contours, so I can't really get to where the contours are when it's raining.
But now I've got a GoPro, I might be right.
Yeah.
Because I nearly floated the quad there in the last flood. The water was over the seat.
No,
next flood we'll try and get some footage of the contours working. Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
I think that's probably people, because there's so many different ways of doing it, which has been good in the comments to find out that people don't understand the purpose of it.
What was there? There was swales, I think, dikes,
terraces.
There was a few others too. I can't remember them all. So no, but I think the biggest factor for us is we get fast rain. We've got bigger paddocks, so we get 50 mil plus an hour easy. And the other thing is, I think our organic carbon's really low because our microbes are going all year round because of the stable temperature. Our microbe activity is really high, and they just eat all the organic carbon. So our levels are probably 1.5% or down west of the range. Different in high rainfall areas. So whereas in like the States and Canada and that, they get quite high organic, even Europe. And I think the higher your organic carbon level, the more like a sponge it is. So that's why, tiling, that was the other thing. So that's why they can tile their drain and their ground from underneath.
Because it's a bigger sponge over there.
A bigger sponge, and the water will actually soak through.
Because it's not actually uncommon for us to get 60 mils an hour, which is a mil a minute.
Probably more.
And you can get more, but it's pretty common to have that. So if you get 3 hours of that, it's 180 mil, and that's nasty.
That's another feedback, and all you guys out there in different parts of the world, tell us what your rough numbers for your organic carbon levels are, because I think it's something like 4 and 5 in Canada when I was over there. Just correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, here we're anywhere from 0.9 to 1.8 is a high number, and so we obviously try to get that up with zero-till practices and growing lots of biomass, but it's really hard just because the microbes are eating all the time.
But the benefit over there in a lot of other places is it's so cold for half the year that the microbes aren't doing much.
They're not active, and that's why we are into controlled traffic so much, because when we run over the country in the wet, it just packs the Henry out of it and takes a long time to recover, whereas over there you're running your joules and your triples, and you get a rain, work it up, and the soil rebounds really quickly. So yeah, but anyway, I appreciated the feedback. It was good, interesting to know.
Oh, maybe I might have to, with all that talk, I might have to put some video of other stuff and drone footage, so we're not just looking at your face for however many minutes that was.
You don't want to do that. Don't edit me out.
Oh dear, what have we gotten into? Nah, it's good.